Hello Ji. My name is Gurleen Tikku and I welcome you to the third episode of Chai with Hareepatti. So this week our guest is Kavya Saxena. Kavya Saxena has a corporate career of 10 years and was working with Indian Oil, and now she heads a retail brand called Vajor. She is a certified motorsport racer and an avid traveler. Also, she manages her finances very well. Let's see what she has to say with regards to finances in current times. Over to Kavya. So hi Kavya.
Hi, Gurleen.
How
Good
are you?
evening.
How are you?
I'm very good. And how about you?
Great, yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself?
क्या बोलूं मैं अपने बारे में? This becomes so difficult. So first of all, thank you so much for this chai pe baatein. And I literally thought that I'll bring a chai ka cup. So I brewed myself some nice tea. And for everyone who is listening, Gurleen is like one loving character. But about me, so I have currently I head Vajor Experiences, and it's a retail brand. I also take care of their entire human resource function. Prior to that, I have companies in leadership position, and I have like about 13 years of. But I think usse zyada I want to talk about other things that I do. So since I started working like about 13 saal pehle, so I just made it a point that I need to utilize my salary in much more bigger way apart from contributing to that. So I started traveling. So pichle 13 saal se I have been traveling every weekend, and because of that, a lot of opportunities have come to me, like motorsports, connections with museums, projects with a lot of tourism boards. I mean, if I have to sum up what I do a lot of things like a juggler.
And tell me, how are things working from home? What has actually changed for you?
So first of all, I want to tell everyone here, and it's not something that I'm proud about or I'm sad about, but I have spent this lockdown alone. My family is in Rajasthan, my parents are in Rajasthan, and I could not go there because till the Janta curfew was started, I was working in my office, and somehow jana nahi ho paya. And Corona se pehle tak, I was running to just get ahead of myself. Like my har weekend, so that I explored something new and better than what I did last weekend. I was switching jobs just because I could feel better that yes, I'm doing well. I was earning well and trying to do so many things just to show to myself that I'm a super powerful girl. But what Corona has taught me is that there is something called inner peace, and that does not come from any book, it does not come from anything, but it is like this thing which is within you. And I've tried to just discover that. तो ये ऐसे कहने में बहुत ज्ञान की बात लगती है, but जब आप बिल्कुल अकेले हो जाते हो तो आप सबसे ज़्यादा vulnerable होते हो. And उस time आप choose कर सकते हो कि आप खुश हो या sad हो. So I just chose to be happy. And yeah.
So talking about, like you mentioned, you've been managing your finances well, you've been earning well, and you've been earning for quite a while now. So in current situation, what precautions according to you should be taken to keep your financial health intact, or I can say it should be least affected? What can be done for that?
I think while Gurleen, आप सबसे अच्छी guide हो. In fact, मेरी भी guide हो, and to a lot of people out there who are listening. But I'll say to this point that I'm millennial janta who never believed in saving. I belong to that group of generation which started earning and believed कि हमें हमारे parents की तरह बहुत sound saving की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Like to date, I do not have any house in my name, or I do not have any big assets in my name. So I always thought, you keep earning and you spend it, and I never took savings very. I would say that I never took them seriously. But having said that, I started जब मैं Indian Oil में थी, for example, for 10 years. So there was this mandatory PF and all of those savings, which I feel now is such a boon to me. But then as I grew up in age and now I realized that, and post-corona, what it has taught me, coming back to your question, is that हम लोग ना अपने लाइफ में इतना फास्ट भागते हैं और हमेशा कहते हैं कि money doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And yes, it is true, money does not solve all of your problems, but having money by your side is always something you can lean upon. So while I'll admit that while I've been working for 13 years and मेरे पास बहुत कुछ हो सकता था while I'm not money minded per se, but I have realized the value of money, and I've realized the value of keeping money for a rainy day. We do not need to become professors of finance to learn how to save. It's as simple, keeping a rainy day fund, keeping something for some bit of fund dedicated for maybe 2 saal baad kya karne wale, like just basics, right? And I feel that is one big learning that I've got during this time.
So if I talk about expenses, so if I talk about, I'll be again taking two instances, before and now. If how did you manage your expenses earlier? What was the priority? What was the order of expenses, and what it will be now?
Since beginning, because a chunk of my salary was going in travel, like I would say about 60%. So baki 40 se mera ek budget banta tha. I think I have it here, and I do not know if I can actually put it for audience to see, but I will still want to show, like, it looks something like this. I used to have this, and I keep it in a very rough manner, heads, and I put the monies. So mostly 40% would go in rent and maids. But I realized that there are a lot of things where we can let go, have that uncomfortable situation and save that. Like for a single person living in Delhi, I actually never needed a cook. It's as practical as that. Abhi bhi hum acha khana kha rahe hain. In fact, zyada acha khana kha rahe hain. Everyone is discovering. It's just about finding that time.
We were talking the other day, for most of the people, actually the income levels have either been reduced or stopped. And everybody has liabilities these days. So what according to you should they do to take care of their liabilities?
So Gurleen, it's like, it's so difficult to answer this question because obviously we both sitting here, or all the people who are listening to this, I'm sure that हम लोग उन लोगों के बारे में शायद imagine भी नहीं कर सकते जो बहुत ज़्यादा problems में हैं, जिनको possibly जो I'm not just talking about daily wage people, but who were depended on salaries to come. And let's accept it, a lot of organizations have put people on leave without pay, who have laid off people. But in my opinion, since I also have that human resource outlook to people, I would say that let's try and multi-skill ourselves. It's very, very important. Hum log, if let's say I was an HR person, can I utilize my skills in some way to reach out to people online, and maybe can I look at some, even if it's like वो जो कौवे वाली कहानी थी, मटके में एक एक करके पत्थर भरते गए और पानी ऊपर आ गया. It's like you have to start building your own rainy day fund, and that is very, very important. Something that I would want to say. Yeah.
So like you mentioned, people should start working on their other skills as well. So this means they can actually utilize their part-time on the other things which they love to do, and they were not able to do due to time constraint. So now they have all the time, and they can do something part-time also to bring their income levels back. So we would like to know about what were your 3 financial goals before Corona, and what are your 3 financial goals if you talk about 6 months or 1 year down the line.
So I would say before Corona, I had no goal. Like I was on basic level. Like I had a basic health insurance. I had some basic amount of cash reserve in my bank, but I'll not say that it was considerable. So I had no goal, which was really bad. But I think post-Corona, what it has taught me is that number one, and I'll just talk about 3 because number one is that any given day, चाहे आपकी salary 30,000 हो या lakh ho ya 2 lakh ho, whatever it is, always I would strive to do that. Keep 3 months of salary minimum as a rainy day fund, and never ever touch it. Like never touch it. That's one thing that we all should start building up. Always very important, which I have done, but I possibly want to talk about it. Have a health insurance because it's super critical. We always ignore it thinking, हम तो बहुत healthy हैं, हमें कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Yes, nahi hone wala hai, but let's just safeguard ourselves. And I think one good thing that you can do is that let's have a policy which insures you for 2 lakh hospital cover. Start adding 500 rupees ka premium amount so that your cover over time increases. So that by the time you are 60 years, your cover will be like, let's say, 15 lakh or 20 lakh, which is a considerable cover to take care of old age. So that 500 rupees premium in hand, like बढ़ा हुआ premium, इतना दुख नहीं देगा जितना बुढ़ापे में hospital cover दे सकता है. So that's second goal, that I'll try to increase my medical cover year on year, make it a little more stronger. Third, which I have thought about, is that I'm going to be putting some amount of finance in very trusted sources. It can be pension scheme or it can be very trusted instruments, which kind of secures future, because let's face it, future is indefinite. मैं हमेशा सोचती थी कि नहीं जैसा जो दिन आएगा, live it through, and I still believe in it. It's one life, live it through, but let's accept it. Time and tide waits for no one. We had never thought corona aega, and now we are all almost eating up our savings. So I will definitely try that, even if it's 5,000 or 10,000, I'll try and put that money apart from that 3-month thing that I spoke. वो तो touch ही नहीं करना है कभी भी, I'll try to do this every month. So these are my top 3 goals that I want to work on.
So thank you for enlightening us on a lot of things. And finally, we'd like to ask you one thumb rule that you follow with regards to your savings and spending.
So, Gurleen, I remember one of these seminars we were together, or the breakups is never common for anyone, but I think हो सकता है जो मैं आज बता रही हूँ वो percentage किसी और के लिए अलग हो सकती है, depending on how you are running your family. But I think mota what I work upon is that, let's say if I'm dependent 100% on my salary, irrespective of the amount, 60% goes into month-on-month expenditure, which is my rent, my house help, it can be my credit cards, then petrol, eating out, groceries, whatever it is which you do in a month. It can be your kids' tuition fee. Everything covers in that 60%. And I would recommend that minimum 20 to 25% goes into savings, which is your rainy day fund. We spoke about very safe instruments, and something which is your medical cover or things like that. So 2-3 things so 20 to 25% depending on how you are managing it. And rest leaves us with about 15%, which I think you can play around. So हो सकता है किसी month में आपने travel कर लिया, किसी month में आप अपने के लिए कोई दिवाली गिफ्ट्स ले आए, now that we will almost approach October, या कोई एक हो गया. So I think that 15% is your comfort zone. But beyond that, the 60 or 65 or the 20-25, I think should be just very, very stable, irrespective whether you are earning 1 lakh or a 30,000 or 50,000. I think this is a very easy percentage to go with. But again, it's something that I suggest, but we can all work it around for us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask Kavya here, and she's also, very active on Instagram. You can follow her on her Instagram handle is crazyfeetkavya, and she does a lot of stuff.
Not crazy these days.
So you can go follow her. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment or bring forward. We shall be happy to answer. Thank you, Kavya.
Thank you so much, Gurleen. Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much for having. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.